Welcome back. This is Africa Ahead, the channel that shows you different institutions promoting innovation in Southeast Africa. Today we visited the University of Nairobi, which is one of the largest institutions in East Africa.
We went to talk with two researchers of the Department of Electrical and Information Engineering to get to know more about Kenya's education system and the typical journey of a student in this faculty.
We're actually in a transition period. So you'd spend 8 years in sort of that elementary stroke primary education, 4 years in your secondary education, and then 4 additional years in your tertiary education. So typically, at the end of each level, you sit for an exam. Now, the government feels that there needs to be a more hands-on approach to our future entrepreneurs and the like. So we are sort of moving away from an exam-based assessment to a competency-based assessment. We tend to be fairly theoretical. We're only starting to really embrace the practical aspects. And for some time that was a big problem, because when a student would graduate from the University of Nairobi's engineering program, you have a very sound theory. But when you're exposed to the practical aspects, you are told to build something or to repair something, you'd find you'd struggle. You know how it works, but that sort of transition to, okay, I understand this practical aspect, this hands-on aspect, it was a bit difficult.
In the department, we have these key areas. So mostly in telecommunications, I see students try to optimize resources. There is this 5G network, so most students tend to either develop antennas for the 5G networks, or they try to develop algorithms that try to optimize resources in these networks. In power systems, there is quite a lot of work in the area. There is load forecasting. There is distributed generators, placement and sizing. There is a lot of research on frequency control.
Essentially, there are 4 thematic areas: the power systems, controls, telecoms, and electronics. And the beauty is that the machine learning, which is essentially a 5th one, sort of feeds into all of them.
Having adopted machine learning, we have gotten some students being absorbed by Microsoft. We have found some brilliant students getting out of our department and developing their own companies. We have had other students going out and landing in big companies like Kencell or Safaricom.
So the average student will graduate, spend 1 to 2 years working at a mid-sized firm, then get assimilated in a bigger organization. That's the typical trend for a majority of our students. Some students, like Dr. Segera and myself, just decided to stay. So that's also an option where you now decide, okay, I think I want to take an academic approach. Of course, that is again dictated primarily by the ability for the university and its partners to find scholarships. Again, because of a resource constraint, we find most of our research tends to take a software-based or simulation-based slant because now you might not have the hardware necessary to build interesting things or things you are pursuing in your research. When COVID hit, and we as a nation, we sort of went into lockdown in March of 2020. I believe for the first 3 months, everyone was static. Okay, so no learning was done nationwide. Then slowly we sort of entered this online approach of learning, so our lecturers had to adapt. We had to sort of stick to online learning, and up to now, I mean, we still are doing online learning. We've sort of seen the merits, and I think we have ended up with more versatile lecturers. We do have curriculum reviews, so once oil was found, locally the faculty realized that, and mechanical along with civil and electrical decided, okay, we need to have a new program. And so it's actually housed in the mechanical department, the petroleum engineering department, but they do borrow resources from us, from civil, from mechanical, because we all visualize that these are aspects that we all need to collaborate and do. But in a more standard way, it's a curriculum sort of review process where we invite our partners from industry to say, okay, what do you think we need to change? And we sort of hem and haw about it, and hopefully by the time the review and the curriculum is out, it's not obsolete.
Yeah.
So, but it's indeed a process.